Plastic pollution is harming the reproductive system of polar bears. At the top of the food chain, they absorb the most plastic. The toxins bind to their fatty tissue.
Know from a lot of research that contaminant exposure in polar bears can have an adverse impact on physiological functions. So, like the thyroid hormone system is impacted, the immune system is compromised. It disrupts the hormone balance, so it can make reproduction challenging. And so that's sort of like the broader impact of contaminants that are in the marine Arctic environment.
There hasn't been a lot of research on this issue up until now. I spoke with Thea Bischoff from the University of Alberta from the Department of Biological Sciences. She specializes in the toxicology of polar bears.
The major problem, if you look at plastic, obviously it comes in all sizes.
Yes.
And the problem for bears is that a lot of the plastic debris, if you will, that is, flotsam, like stuff that's either accidentally or unfortunately on purpose, dropped into the ocean from ships, ends up on the shores. They're really curious, and if they're on the shore, they're usually also hungry. They'll actually try and eat it.
It is through the research of biologists like Thea that find the cause and effects of plastic particles and contaminants. They may not be evident right away, but through time, they cause great harm to bears.
The natural hormones that the bears have in their body, so it messes with the whole hormonal system, and obviously that has some consequences.
What the toxins that you find, can they pass it on to their offspring?
Unfortunately, yes. We found there are different organic contaminants, but like PCBs is one of the good old ones that's been around for a long time. And then you also have stuff like the flame retardants. A lot of these different contaminants are lipophilic, so they love to be surrounded by fat. They concentrate especially in the fatty tissue. And polar bears actually has some of the most fatty milk that we know of. And so obviously when the mom is a lot of the contaminants will also come along, and so that's the welcome gift to the little cubs.
Hormonal levels as well as contaminant levels can be measured by scientists simply by testing the hair on a polar bear.
All of these contaminants that we know have a detrimental effect on the health of the bears, they actually adsorb to the outside of these plastic particles. So in effect, they will increase the amount of pollution that is concentrated in each individual and that is magnified up through the food chain. For me, Western Hudson Bay, they're the southernmost, well, almost southernmost polar bear population, but what they are is also they're the best studied polar bear population anywhere. And that means that I have hair samples, for example, from the same individual throughout their life. When you have that, then you really can start looking at patterns of health. This year, the contaminant load was male or female, and then you can really start to learn more details and learn how the biology plays into this whole complex situation.
New research leads to new discoveries. Since the bears don't immediately die from plastic and microtoxins, it takes time, and only time will show the effects. Next time, when you throw away a plastic bottle like this, think twice. Help us prevent hazardous materials from contaminating our waters and harming our wildlife.